I was thinking about doing having a sign-on phrase, like when someone introduces a video. I think Super Bits and Bob, he's always like, "Hail friends," it's a good one for EverQuest, because, "Hail adventurer," that kind of thing. I kind of want to make mine, though, specific to Red server, and not even be a hello necessarily. So I'm thinking about maybe doing today would be a great day to have all my characters deleted and have the server started over. I don't know. Maybe that's a dumb idea. Sorry, I'm shaking up my vegan protein shake. Pea protein is technically soluble in water, but you wouldn't know by trying to drink it, because you really gotta shake that shit up. Okay. This is gonna be a different kind of video. I'm actually on the blue server right now with all my level 1 characters here that I've never played, because fuck blue server, right? Yeah, my level 1 Ixar Monk Instathought. That's really a roleplay name. Please don't ban me. What was I talking about? Oh, the reason I'm on the blue server here is because I feel like that the first video I did on the channel where I made my paladin character, I didn't really explain my thought process very well when making the character. So I wanted to, and I've already made this character on the red server, and she's already a higher level than Brightleaf, the actual paladin that my channel's about, I guess. But yeah, the other character is an Enchanter. I decided I wanted to play an Enchanter. So I want to show you my actual thought process when I make a character. More detailed, instead of kind of rushing through it and being weird and awkward because I'm not used to talking to my laptop. So I knew I wanted to play an Enchanter. I didn't know what race to pick. And with Enchanter, because they get illusions for all of the other races, race is sort of less important, but kind of not. Because I do, as I think I got across in the other videos, like to think about these things from more of a role-play perspective. And one thing I would never do with an Enchanter is go for the basic bitch agnostic choice. That's a bad way to go, in my opinion. Not for any gameplay reasons, but because it's not as interesting as picking a religion. And especially with Enchanter, because everyone always says you have to go with agnostic, which I think is bad advice that people should stop giving. So one of the things I really wanted to think about with my Enchanter was their backstory and what religion they would follow and why they would do so. And I looked at I think each of the races that can be Enchanter are all good options. You have Dark Elves here, who are always really cool. Erudites, which actually have the best Enchanters. Well, maybe not the best. I guess maybe High Elf is best, right? But with Erudite, you can put all your points into Charisma and then not feel quite as bad. about having a low intelligence. Take a drink here. So I really did think each option would be a good option. So I wanted to look at each of the religions they could follow, so we'll do that now. So if you're a dark elf enchanter, I think the obvious option, because there's only one other than agnostic, is Inaruk. And Inaruk is a very cool god to follow. Possibly the most evil of gods. You know, you would be a hate worshiper. That's always a good option. Or, clicking on erudite here, we've got Praxis or Quellius. And I feel like Praxis is a... Really, I don't know why erudites can even worship Praxis. Like, their whole thing is they're super smart and they think they're better than everyone. But then they, like, worship the ocean gods like they're pirates or something. It makes zero sense to me. I do not understand it, and I don't think Praxis is very cool. Like, the god of... Let's see. Life first formed in the murky depths. Yeah. See, it's like ocean stuff. Sailors and fishermen. What does that have to do with, you know, being like super smart, awesome wizards and stuff? So for me, if I picked an erudite enchanter, I would obviously go with Quellius, the goddess of peace and tranquility. And that makes a lot of sense as an enchanter from a roleplay perspective, because you get all of those lulls, and I kind of feel like mesmerization. You're almost, and you're meditating. So I think that would be a really good option for an enchanter. And again, I almost made erudite because of the stats. I was looking over here. And because I was primarily going to be, well, probably only soloing on my enchanter on red, I did, no matter what race I picked, I was going to put all of my points into charisma and the last 5 into intelligence. And this way, with 122 intelligence, after dumping all your points into charisma already, that was like a really good reason for me to possibly pick enchanter. Because, again, I don't have the best twink gear. I assume I'll never join Perdition to do raiding. And then I was looking over here at Gnome. Gnomes are really cool too. And again, looking at the religions here. Brel is the worst. I think Brel is even worse than being agnostic, because Brel, like, created the dwarves, and he's basically evil. He's the Knoll god, and they're literally Shadow Knights that worship him, and no one ever, like, how, I don't understand how there's paladins that can worship Brel. That should not be a thing, because he's literally evil. But Bertoxulus, the Plague Bringer, I think that would be the obvious choice here. I love Bertox. He's fucking metal. You know, plague worship. Doesn't get any cooler than that. And I do like gnomes. Even though they're like cousins of dwarves, they're less evil, not alcoholics, just better in general. So gnome is always an option. I do like gnomes too because they can see through walls. And of course, I was looking at high elf because elves are the best. And high elves start with the highest charisma. And they actually get a lot of really cool religions here. Tuner is probably the best, but that's also kind of the most obvious choice. The elf god, you know, nature. We love nature. But then they also get like Nathaniel Mar, the paladin god, basically. What are they about? Truth, honor, and charity. Kind of reminds me of like Superman somehow. And Nathaniel Mar's sister, Erelisi Mar, the goddess of love, which I think is a lot cooler than Nathaniel Mar. Because who doesn't love love, obviously. And Karana, the rain god. Why do we have a rain god and also an ocean lord? I've never understood that. They just seem too similar. I don't think Karana is that interesting. So if I went this route, I would go with either Erelisi Mar or Tuner. Probably Erelisi Mar because Tuner is the only option if you're a cleric or a paladin, high elf. So the intelligence casters get to be a little more unique in that regard and worship a few different gods other than Tuner. And I also almost went high elf because first I love high elves, but then I remembered that my paladin was so difficult to play because she had such low strength, and an intelligence caster high elf has even less strength. And if I put all my points like that, then I would still have 55 strength, which is not ideal for any character. And I decided that was not the option. So looking here at humans, first I guess we can look at so they also get Bertoxulus, which is really cool. Humans even start in like a special area of the game that they're, evil, like layer of disease where they have like an altar to the evil god Bertoxulus. It's really cool from a roleplay perspective. In Uruk, just like the Dark Elves, this is another good option. And they start in Freeport, of course, where they have their underground area. I feel isn't as interesting as the Bertox area, because it's just like, well, it's almost like they're doing some social commentary to where poverty leads people to commit evil acts and follow evil gods, because it's the really poverty-stricken area of the big city Freeport where the evil people congregate and are allowed to exist. Karana again, which is okay, it's better than being agnostic, but it's not that interesting to me. Erelisi Mar again, that would be another good choice. And then here you've got Nathaniel Mar again. And another really interesting choice, Rodset Knife, the Prime Healer, which I feel like is kind of more. Boy, if you're comparing God to like the Christian God or the Abrahamic God to any of the other gods, maybe I probably shouldn't say that, because also like Kazakh Fuel. I see parallels between Kazakh Thule and Catholicism. You know, but the Prime Healer, a very interesting choice for an enchanter. And if I were going human, I would pick either Bertoxulus, Airlisi, or Rotset Knife, or possibly Inaruk. I guess Inaruk or Airlisi if you want to start in Freeport. And like pick if you want to be good or evil. And then there's that same, I guess, good and evil dichotomy between Bertoxulus and Rotset Knife for the Kinos area. So, picking a race, I was thinking about strength. I really was. And I still would never put points into strength when making a character. So I thought to kind of get around that and trick my brain into thinking I'm not doing that, while still basically doing that, I would pick human. And humans actually have the second highest charisma, with high elves having 5 more, 90, as compared to 85. So that's still second best charisma. Really, really good starting stats here as far as charisma goes. Low intelligence, but whatever, you know. And I'm getting the literally 20 more strength than what high elf enchanters get without putting any points into it. And I don't remember which face. Maybe it was, I think maybe it was this one. They all look pretty okay for humans. Not that I ever do play humans. I kind of feel like this is maybe the best. She has like a kind face, but I know I did not pick that one for my enchanter. It would have been an okay enchanter face. I think mine had like brown hair. Maybe that one. And I did go all charisma and 5 intelligence, as I would for any of the races. And for what deity to worship here, I was really feeling Bertoxulus, because their starting area is just so cool, where they do have like an altar to, I guess I could just, I wonder, just pick a name. Pentagon? Lardori. These are so bad. Whatever though. Maybe I'll show you. That was my thought process though for how to start the character. Or create the character. And maybe sometime I'll play my enchanter for you guys. I do get lost here in Kinos. I'm gonna make this big because one really cool thing about Bertoxulus followers, humans only, gnomes don't get this. You get this candle of the plague bringers. And I got my Stydamagok to replace it with. It's maybe a better light source, but I'm keeping the candle in my bank because how fucking cool is this? The picture's like a skull with a candle like melted onto it, you know? And here, your fate lurks in disease and bile, the blood of Bertoxulus. Beneath the grounds of Fate Arena, the rotting bones of fallen warriors mark the entrance to the underworld. In these shadowy depths lurk the blood sabers and other minions of the Lord of Disease. Seek out Rianya Jukul. She shall initiate you into the circle of darkness that eats away at the world above. Human enchanters, or human Bertoxulus followers, rather, maybe get the best little starting notes in the entire game. So I'm going to show you how cool their little starting area is. If I can find it. I always get lost in Kinos. I kind of learn the way, but not really, you know. I remember, oh yeah, here, when I see this, I go here. And here's the arena. Also, like, what the fuck? Look at this, there's blood all over this place. And these are like humans. There's paladins and clerics that worship like the god of healing. And they've got this huge blood-stained arena with like fucking hooks hanging down like this for no fucking reason. Like, what would they use this for? Why would a just society allow this to be a thing? And there's like literally bones. Presumably human bones. There's like a skull. Like, people are dying here and they're just letting them rot, I guess. And this isn't even the evil area. These are like the... You can pick a warrior that worships the god of healing. And you start here and you come here. And this is your area for training. What the fuck, guys? And to actually get to the evil area, if that's not enough for you, you have to follow the trail of the bones, like it said in the note. And see, these are the warriors. They regard me apprehensively. I think this guy's evil. Yeah, he likes me. He's evil too. So like the good warriors don't trust me because they know I'm evil, or I worship the god of disease. So you come through here, there's an invisible wall, which EverQuest is famous for, of course. And then there's these like weird runes in this weird like little dungeon area beneath the horrific arena where I assume unspeakable acts of savagery are committed. And then you zone in and you're in the aqueduct system. So this is like beneath the city. And you come this way. There's a skeleton with a hammer for some reason, and he likes me. And there's this guy. And here's the Blood Sabers is the name of the Bertoxulus followers in Kinos. So here's their like symbol, a saber, I guess. I'm not sure what a saber really is. Some kind of sword. Maybe that's what it is, with blood coming off of it. And you come in here. For a while I was clicking this, but then I realized, like, you know those challenges that are like, oh, I shouldn't say that. You can just fit through these. You know. Like, screw a thigh gap if you can fit through the Bertox gates here. That's the real test. And Then these are obviously Shadow Knights because they have pets that are skeletons, and they've got armor and swords and shit. And here is my little trainer. I don't know why I called her little. She's the exact same size as my character. And this area even has a banker, which is very cool. None of the other evil areas, like in Freeport, they don't have a bank down there, I don't think. And he looks all like whatever. Why would this be the banker, I wonder? Because everyone else looks, I mean, I guess I wouldn't call that normal, but that's a graphics bug. Everyone else looks normal. And the banker guy looks like, I don't know, he's been through some shit. He's in rags. And my Enchanter, I kept my note in my bank. But I did do... I wanted to see if the Enchanter guild leader would say anything really cool to me when I turned the note in. And I was so disappointed. Watch this. You turn the note in. A new initiate always pleases me. Here is your tunic. And that's it. I mean, the robe is cool. I don't know why she called it a tunic. Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the altar thing. So there's the gate. You go straight from the gate back to here. And look at this. I don't know, is this blood? It's not lava, it doesn't hurt you when you walk in it. Maybe it's just like water that's contaminated with whatever. And like up here, like what the hell? How would they get this red like that? And this is like a up here. See, it's like an altar. I assume that's for blood. They're probably gonna sacrifice virgins or something. Isn't this cool? I just love this little area. So, my human Bertoxulus Enchanter that I may or may not play sometime for you guys on the red server started out here. And I actually stayed in the Kinos area until level 12. And I'm not really used to playing in Kinos. Like, I learned a lot of the, what's it called, Blackborough, for the first time. I'd never really been there for experience, just kind of ran through it. And I kind of learned that area. It's like their Crushbone. I like Crushbone better, but probably just because that's where I went when I was a kid. So, yep, here's the evil area. And I do like that every class that can be a human, other than the good ones like Paladin, Druid, Ranger, can worship Bertoxulus. And if you do, you don't get the regular trainer. You have to come down to this evil area and find your like evil Enchanter or your evil magician. Yeah, this place is just so cool. So that's this episode, showing you my thought process a little better. I know I'm not playing Brightleaf like I normally do, but it's fine. You'll be okay. Okay, thank you for watching my video again. Oh, also, I discovered that I can like my own videos, which is cool. So now my videos are getting like, each one is getting 30% more likes. I'm really gaming the system there. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.